Hello, welcome to another episode of the Legislative Lens, spotlighting state laws podcast. And we're still continuing dealing with season one, dealing with the 88th legislature out of the great state of Texas. And this law is House Bill 393, which is dealing with really, it's a pretty monumental law in and of itself. It is dealing with, in the cases of intoxicated manslaughter, that the person that violated in the result of a crime where the person's parent was killed. Let's say a child's parent was killed, that the murderer, due in the intoxicated manslaughter case, will be paying child support till the child turned 18 or graduated high school, whatever is latest. This is a pretty, I would say, bold measure in the state of Texas. And I think it will go really hand in hand to combat DWI arrests and does a lot of work. They would orders a defendant convicted of intoxicated manslaughter to pay restitution to a child whose parent or guardian was killed in the crash. They will have to pay monthly support until the child reaches 18 years old or they have graduated from high school, whichever is later. It was signed by Governor Abbott. It is effective on September 1 of 23. And this also goes well. It goes kind of hand in hand with this law, which is House Bill 1163, which creates a criminal offense for boating while intoxicated with a child passenger. In this bill's context, a child passenger is someone who's under the age of 15. That's a pretty monumental law as well. Trying to deal with the combatants of driving while impaired. And I think this law here that deals with the conviction of an intoxicated manslaughter case to pay restitution until the child turns 18 is pretty significant. I'm not exactly sure the success rate of said payment, but I would say that this is a pretty stout bill when it comes to significant penalties. And I hope that this law, at the forefront of it, comes at a deterrence for people to continually drink and drive. And I can tell you that driving while intoxicated is a terrible mistake that many people make. And in this case, some of these cases involve manslaughter and the loss of life. I don't speak for every single person that's ever been convicted or charged for DWI, but I don't speak for any of them. I speak only for myself in a situation where if I was ever coming across a scenario like this, that's a very heavy burden to carry for the rest of your life as a person, that you ended the life of another because of the actions that you chose that are avoidable in many ways. And I mean that with respect to every party involved. Because I am not saying that the person that is getting behind the wheel of the car intoxicated is not at fault. What I'm saying is there's many choices that are made prior to getting to that decision. And unfortunately, the drug induced that you're situating at, it just snowballs into something else. So, very impactful law here in the state of Texas. Texas is one of the few states that if you ever are arrested for DWI, or in this case, intoxicated manslaughter, the justice system comes at you at a very heavy hand. They don't waste time. They do. It might take you a minute to get to court, from what I understand and reading and doing a lot of research on this. It might take you over a year or 10 months to a year or even 18 months to see a judge from your arrest. But this is a heavy burden. I don't think anyone wishes upon that. But I believe that this measure is a important one also to hopefully cause a deterrence for people driving while under the influence. Okay. I think the state of Texas as a whole sees a lot of impaired driving. And there's many attorneys and a lot of people across a lot of businesses that profit from said impaired driving. It's unfortunate that businesses have to come out of a situation like impaired driving, but in this case, it's a very straightforward law. House Bill 393 says if you kill the parent of a child, in the cases of a person that is intoxicated and it's a wreck that causes the life being lost of the parent, you owe the child support for the next however long it is before they turn 18 or graduate high school. I think that is a pretty impactful law, and it's only going to help out making the victims whole the best of they can. I just want to know about the research that goes into the possibility of these offenders actually paying the restitution in full, and that success rate. Only time will tell. So appreciate you joining me as well. This is a quick episode. These are going to start being a little quicker because the impacts are just amazing on the lives of the citizens of Texas. This is a pretty monumental bill, and I hope everyone keeps intrigued on that and across this entire podcast that these laws are actually impacting the citizens of the state, not just on a federal level that you hear on a blowhard on television, but you actually physically hear about this here on this podcast and across the airwaves. These laws impact people's lives on the daily, and this one is one of them. Appreciate you joining me as always. Appreciate it always. Always have a great rest of your day or any time of your day. Feel free to download at any of your podcasting platforms. Have a great afternoon.